Hi everybody and welcome to we're continuing with our Waterfall book, and we've done the teal colour page, we've done the red and cream, and today this page is the blue page. So I think sorted out pretty much all that we need. It's just a question now of putting it all together. So in the top left hand corner goes this beautiful red rose, and it's called Devotion. Just lovely. Today I've cut this out, and there's just one thing I wanted to mention to you. Don't cut it too far into there, otherwise they won't lie flat. So I've cut that the regular 1/8 of an inch away from this edge, but I've left probably 1/4 of an inch on that side, just so it'll help it to lie flat. And this is more paper from that heirloom pack, but I thought that might put me off actually if I was looking at that, so I'm going to use the white side. Right, I think that's the housekeeping done, so that's going to go there. And then we've got this one. So they're all blues, as you'd expect. It's a blue page. That's going to go there. What next? These go on the bottom, like that, I think. It's quite handy having a pattern to work from, actually. And this advert, I love this advert. I really do. It's a shame I've got to cover any of it, but unfortunately I haven't got room for it all, so that's going to go there. And I definitely want to be able to see her head. Now this comes, what else happens? This happens. That goes, that must go underneath. No, it looks like it comes on top, and it comes to about there. Let's just put that underneath for the moment, so get the feel of what it's like. Yeah, that's going to be fine. And then this, really useful strip, this. I mean, you can cut it off into individual ones if you want to. Use them all together like this as a strip, as I am. That's about right, so I can still see her face, and I can still see the rose. So that's going there. Then down the side of her here, we've got these stamps. It comes off the bottom there, I think. Yeah, I think there's only 3 being used. So let's just cut one off. And they come there, like that. And then the only other thing is a red stamp, which is about there. Whoops, not over her head, not over her face. That goes there. There we go, we've already got a page. We've got it done. Wow, well, I was prepared today. The only thing that I would say is I need to cut this bit off, obviously. Yeah, so what goes on the bottom? Well, we know that that, and that definitely go on the top after everything else is made. That goes underneath this one, so we can stick that one down. So let's do that first off. I've got Mr. F's filled my glue bottle up, so we're ready to go. I must say these precision tips, they really do save some glue. You certainly get enough delivered from the nozzle, but they really do save glue. Right, there we go. So that's right on that edge, and it's sticking over a little bit at the top because we've got that pinked edge which I'd like to trim off. This one I think also goes flat down. Wow, don't say things are going to go right today. That really would be a shocker. So this goes right up. Just checking I had it the right way up there. Right in that corner. Like that. Lovely. Okay, so I don't think we need to sew either of those. Then this goes in this down here. So I'm gonna just try and get that straight on the edge. Like that. Marvellous. Marvellous. And then this one I think is the next. And that goes over there like that, but doesn't go all the way because we've got this one. So does she come all the way up? Yeah, she does. Okay, so I need to cut that off about there. I'm going to use my scissors because it won't be seen. So there we go. I mean, it's worth preserving this because that's really pretty. So that goes there. Now I think we might have to start sewing things here. I'll put this down and then I'm going to stitch around that because it's over the top of things, so it needs stitching. Right, so let's get, it comes down to the bottom of that rose actually. And let's pull that in just a little bit to the edge, like that. Yeah, that's great. So you can still see the bottom of that rose. Okay, so it's our first bit of stitching. Let's, before we do that, just tidy up the, those aren't the right scissors, so these are the right scissors. Just tidy up the top and round the sides. Just helps you see where you're going really. It's just a little whisker hanging over there. I hope some of you are having a go at this because it's it isn't complicated. It's just a bit of head scratching over the order that you put things in really. And then the order you sew them in. That's it. Right, that's lovely. Now I'm going to go off and I'm going to sew around. Oh, hang on. The lady goes under there. She goes under. Does she? I prefer her like that. And that comes down there like that. Yeah, I prefer that. I like her on the top, so yeah, that's fine. I'm going to go and sew, not the edge side, that gets done at the end. I'm just going to sew around those three. You don't actually need to sew down there, but I might as well when I'm there. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so that's that done. Trim the ends off. Let's just trim that up there. Lovely. Right, okay. So I'm thinking the next thing is this, is the lady. And she needs sticking down there and then we'll sew all the way around her. Yes. And the next page after this, I think, is the purple one. And that's all exciting because it's got the big car in and stuff. So that's her flush with the sides. Yeah, that's great. Right, so I'm going to sew around there and around there, leaving the edges to sew later. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, so I mean this has come together really quickly. We've still got bits to put on, but not that much. So this, because we've still got a hole there, this goes down here, but I do want to preserve as much of her face as I possibly can. I also want to preserve the rose, so I'm betwixt the devil and the deep blue sea here. Maybe just over a touch to there. Yeah, so the rose is still there, and so is her face. Yippity-doo-dah. So let's stick that on, and we need to stitch around that. This is quite good for practicing your precision stitching. Right, let's see. I want her face and I want the rose. So let's pop that there. Put that down there and hope it's straight. Let's measure it, because just to be sure. That's 1 5/8. Yeah, that's square. Blimey. Okay, so that's that there. And the other thing we need to attach is this, which goes there. Like that, I think. Yep, okay. Let's just glue that down. Okay. Just there. Yeah, that's perfect. Is it? No, it's not. It comes further down than that. It comes off the bottom of there. You just basically don't want these lined up, because otherwise it's just going to be a straight line down the middle of your work, and that's not what you want really. Now I should have a red stamp somewhere. Here it is. And this is going, well, if I can work out which is, yeah, that way. That's going there, but I need to sew this on first. This is going to be the last thing to be sewn on. So let's go and sew round there and sew round here. Then we're really making progress. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so I've sewn round those two pieces. Just trim the ends off the threads. And now we've just got that stamp to go. We're motoring, peeps. Just on the end there, these ones on the other side, I mean. Right, okay, so it's just this to go now, and that goes, that covers a bit of this, a bit of this, and a bit of this, and that's, I like things like that in my collages that are on top, that give another layer. So there we go, right. So what I'm going to do is sew around this, and then I'm going to sew around the whole page. Let me just check that's the right way up. Very hard to see which is right. Oh, there's an owl in the middle, so that's a bit of a clue. There we are. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to sew around there, and then I'm going to sew around the entire page. And by the looks of it, I was going to say I used zigzag, but I didn't. So I'm going to straight stitch around there. I prefer to straight stitch on the things that are quite delicate, because otherwise you just, the zigzag, the width of the zigzag swallows up what the element that you're using. So straight stitch around there, zigzag around the outside, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so there we are. That's the page done. I mean, that was super quick, wasn't it, this morning? Oh dear, I don't know why. I wish they all went together that quickly. Now it's time for lace. So back to this one. and I'm going to put it all the way down there, like that. It does hide a little bit of that rose, but you can still see it through there, so it looks nice. So let's trim that off there. And the other place I'm going to put it is along here. Let's just trim that off there. Lovely. Let's get that stuck down then. Well, it's Friday here when I'm recording this, because we've got next Monday someone's coming to the house to do something, some worky sort of stuff, and then on Tuesday I've got a hospital appointment, so I'm trying to kind of get ahead if I can, so that frees us up Monday and Tuesday next week, just in case I don't get time to do a video. So yeah, it's Friday. Mr. F has gone grocery shopping. And it's a rainy day and there's nothing much more to say. It's miserable out there. You would never ever believe in a month of Sundays that, you know, we're well into May. It's just not that sort of weather at all. So I'm just dabbing this off, pick up the excess glue and push that down. Just trim off the end flush. Like that. There we go. So we've got that one on. So it's just the other little piece now to put on. Yeah, because sometimes with the best will in the world, life gets in the way and you just don't get the opportunity to make a video. So I thought I would crack on with it. So that's going to go along there, up a little bit to there. Yeah, that's lovely. Seem to have an excess of glue here. Let's do our best to pick that lot up. There we go, and just trim off the surplus bit. There we go. Right. So now we're down to just the hand sewing and putting the buttons on. Now the buttons, I found this beautiful blue button. It's a square. It's gorgeous. And so I fully intend to make use of that. And I've got another couple of kind of more ordinary, shall we say, blue buttons. And I want them coming over here like that. So that's where those, I might put that square in the centre actually. Might look a bit better. Yeah, just like that. That's fine. So I'm going to sew those on in the way I showed you yesterday, and I'm going to cross stitch here and here, put the lace on and stick it into the book. But I'll do all the hand sewing and sew the buttons on, and then I'll join back up with you when we put the lace and stuff on. Okay, so I'll see you, well, for me it'll be a little while I do all that, but for you it'll just be a second. Right, well that took a little while to do that, but it's all done now. I've sewn my buttons on, cross stitched through my lace, so now it's time to put the lace down here, down the edge. Just going to trim these little straggly threads off, like that. And this is the lace we're using, so is that enough? Yes, that's enough. Oops. There we go. Yeah, that's the right side. So I'm just going to glue onto the lace itself. I seem to be getting better results when I actually glue right onto the lace. So let's do that again. Don't alter a winning formula. And just a little bit on this edge of it. Ooh, the tension. And I'm just gonna put some glue there. Right, let's go. Just want that a little bit over because that end's a little bit raggy, and I don't want that. So I'm just placing it carefully right down that edge. Like that. That's lovely. Lovely, lovely. Okay, so let's just dab that down into place. Pick up any excess glue. I've got loads of glue everywhere. Lovely. Okay, so let's trim those ends off. And this one. Whoops, not quite. There we go. And just check, yeah, that could just do with another little bit of glue there. Just check that your ends are always glued down, because they're the bits that will fray, and then they look awful. Don't mind fabric fraying and stuff, but I don't want the lace to fray, it doesn't look right. So now it's time to stick it in our book. Let's just check that this is clean, shall we? Let's do a bit of a clean up job on it. Where's my water spray? Here it is. Bobby's decided to chirp in. He's always a bit on edge when his dad's not at home. I think he thinks he has to step up and guard the house or something. I don't know what he thinks. Who knows what Bob thinks. Right, there we are. So that's nice and clean. So, time to stick this in. So, using my collal again. Oh no, that's all right. It's really strange having the pattern on the back, and I'm not going to do it again because it made the hand sewing quite difficult. I like having the white on the back. You can see what you're doing. Like now, I haven't actually got a clue where there's glue and where there isn't. I'm just hoping for the best. I think it'll be all right. I think I could sort of do this with my eyes shut, really. I've done it so often. Right, let's get this in place. So, I want it 1/8 of an inch in from that edge. And then let it, that's it, it's nice and square there. So before we absolutely stick that down, let's just check that's right, and I'm happy with it. Yes, I am. So give that a nice little gentle pat. Don't squish it too hard until the glue's started to tack up. It just wasn't quite square. That's square now, I think. Well, that page went quite well, dare I say. There we go. So now we've got 3 pages. They're all lying nice and square. That's good. Yeah. Okay, so next one I believe is the purple one, but don't hold me to it, but I think it is. It's also the centre of our little book. So from once we get the next page done, we're actually on the homeward stretch, really, aren't we? So I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for staying with me. I appreciate if you're not, you don't want to do fabric collage. It's probably not of a great deal of interest to you, but it's fun. It's good fun. Have a go. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.